Hey guys.
Hello.
So we're gonna be sharing our testimonies about how we came to Christ, how God has changed us, and how Jesus is the Lord of our lives. Can you guys introduce yourselves first?
Yes, so I'm Louisa. I'm a very long time friend of Ashley's. Like literally since we were 10 years old, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
What else I need to say about me, what I'm studying or anything?
Nah, no one cares about that. But yeah, we're longtime friends, childhood friends.
And I'm Cindy, newer friend of Ashley, but it's growing good friendship.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank the Lord.
Agreed.
So, Miss Cindy, would you like to tell us about how you met God?
Well, I grew up in a Christian household, so I grew up with going to church, reading the Bible, and praying, and we literally had like scriptures plastered on our walls, and we would read the Bible at breakfast and at dinner, and I'd go to church like 3 times a weekend.
Wow.
So, but that didn't make me a good Christian. I was pretty lukewarm growing up. Yeah, I admit it. I was a lukewarm Christian. And so, because I didn't pursue a personal relationship with God, I started doing things that was not good for me or what God wanted me to do with my life. It really started going downhill at the end of high school when I stopped going to youth group and stopped going to church. And I was in a bad group of friends that did not have my best interest at heart. So as I pulled away, I started getting depressed and extremely anxious, and I was in college, and I ended up dropping out because I was so depressed I wanted to kill myself. And I had moved out of my parents' place. I was trying to make ends meet, and the pandemic hit, and I couldn't get a job. And then I called out to Jesus, and because I knew that I didn't feel this way growing up. I was a pretty happy kid, and I knew that that God brought joy to my life. And so, as I was sitting on the floor in my bathroom, ready to cut my arms open, he told me to stop and said, "I love you." And he found a way to take me out of that situation that I was in, and saved my life and brought me into back home, and helped me heal from all those years of disobeying him. And it's taken a full year of recovery to even get to where I am now. And I still have a lot to learn and a lot to improve on, but I know that even if I fail or fall back into old habits, I am loved by God.
Oh. Bars. Let me grab you something.
Thank you.
A gift. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. I'm like curious, cause like feeling something that is not visible say I love you, like how did it hit? Like, was there a confirmation? Like, did you hear something? Like, did your body just suddenly like stop?
It was kind of a stop, and it was just it was like a feeling of embrace and like just, I guess, sort of like a you know. Yeah.
Amen.
But most of the time when I was recovering, it was just a blur. I barely remember anything after that. So
Amen.
yeah.
I like when God does that though, like with our recovery. He doesn't let us know everything we've healed, because it's like also too much to take in.
Yes.
He wants you to focus more on like how much he loves you.
Yes.
Like, I love that he started it with like, as soon as he turned you around, he was like, I love you.
Yes.
And I guess that's what fueled you to kind of just get better.
Yes.
Amen. So good. That's so beautiful, bro. The love of God is beautiful.
Yes.
Oh boy. Because with your testimony, I know with COVID, everyone's mental health has gone down the drain,
Yes.
the rabbit hole. So it's like, what advice could you give?
Oh, there's a lot of techniques that I use to help with my recovery from depression. When I indulged on things that I thought I didn't need. So if I if I was telling myself that I shouldn't be eating something, I would eat it because I wanted it. And if I just needed to lay down, I would lay down. If I most of the time I would just work on doing one thing at a time. If like just at the start, I have an app that helps me keep track of my goals, but with it just had one goal: stand up at least once a day. Just get out of bed. And slowly it progressed from get out of bed to go drink some water, to eat some food, to get dressed and make yourself look presentable, because when you look good, you'll feel good. And so it was a slow process, but little things accumulated over time helps.
Amen. Those who are faithful in little will be faithful in much.
Yes.
Dude, this is ringing my heart right now. Oh. And that's only the beginning, guys.
Yeah, because to me, I always saw, people who grew up in a Christian household, things like that. I was like, they're so lucky because they already got instilled those values. But instead, despite that, anything can happen, like you said. And you said too, you were a lukewarm Christian, despite whatever our parents may do. In the end, it's what we decide, right? So, it's admirable, and it's so amazing the journey you went through and how far you've come. Because when your parents drove us and all that, it's like, oh, like her mom knows God, and like we were asking your mom too about, I don't know, what is it, like,
Christian
what's some
school?
advice
For
marriage or something like that.
She hit us with a hard one, bro.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, like, growing up in this, like, I was like, well, no wonder Sydney's like so, well, I don't know, to me, I was like, you're very knowledgeable, very wise, and like, very mature, and to me, I'm like, you know God very well. But with your journey here, I'm like, it still has its ups and downs, but despite all that, you are still here today, and to me, without knowing all that, I'm like, that's amazing how you've come so far, and that was all you, really. Even, yeah, so it's just...
Mostly God.
Yeah. But it's just so admirable, so... Yeah. Well, for me, I grew up Catholic, but I say grew up because, like, until maybe like I did up to the first communion, and that was until I was 10, and then I moved here, and we still went to church every Sunday, like I'd say through elementary, but then in junior high, and yeah, somewhere through junior high, our parents were always like, well, it's your choice. If you want to go, you go. If you don't, you don't. And I chose not to go because I just at that time I just saw it as a waste of time. I didn't really see the value in it because I was just like, I just go there and sit there, and the priest reads stories about people I don't know. Like I saw it as a waste of time, although at the time I was still like, oh yeah, I believe in God, I pray. I didn't really read the Bible, but I was like, I pray, like this is fine, why do I need to go to church? So yeah, around junior high is when I stopped going, and then through high school, really, just as the years went on, I just didn't really have a relationship with God anymore, didn't pray anymore. But I did have two friends who, they're still my friends, but they're Orthodox Christian, I think is what it's called. Oh no, Coptic Orthodox. And they were very devout. They went to their youth groups, and they went to church every Sunday, things like that. So through them and getting closer to them is when I started praying again and things like that. But I was still, I don't know if I should go into, we can cut it out anyways if it's not.
Be wise, be led.
Yes. I guess the reason I'm mentioning it is because, we went to Notre Dame, which is a Catholic high school, but the religion classes there didn't really do much for me. I was just like, oh cool, now I know these stories about some people from long ago. But they helped me see that, there is a God, and that we can pray and we can ask for help and all these things. At the same time, though, I didn't really consider myself any type of like Catholic or Christian or this or that or anything, because it just seemed confusing to me, because like in Catholics we do things a certain way, the Coptic Orthodox, they do things another way, but yet we all believe in God. So I was just like, as long as, again, the same mentality, as long as I pray, I'm fine. And really the only times I prayed were when I needed help, or when I was down, or really just at my lowest, but I didn't talk to God. It was just like, everything's good, but then something happened, like praying, begging for my life pretty much, and then it improves, of course. I mean, he's God. Or I would feel better. I mean, yeah, he is God at the end of the day. But then I just like, let it go. It's just, I guess in a way, yeah, definitely using God, because whenever I was down, I pray, and then again, I'm better. I'm like, okay, I don't need you. And this pattern just kept on happening until, I'd say, around the pandemic, like as the years went on, it's when I, at that point, didn't really pray anymore at all. Really, I only prayed whenever I was down, which was maybe like a couple times a year. So yeah, and then the pandemic hit, and that is like, as the years went on, then friends moved away because they went to do a master's, or they transferred universities, and Ashley also went away to wORld, I think, right? So then I was just like, and I was doing an internship at that time, so I was working from home remotely, so just pretty much stuck in my room all day working on my computer. The only time I would leave was like to eat downstairs. But I was not seeing any friends because they all moved away. So I was just like, I don't have any friends. I don't even, I have no one here in Calgary or elsewhere. I wasn't even really talking to my family outside anymore. It was literally just my mom, dad, and my brother, and not even because my brother was always in his room. And so I just felt very alone at that time. And I was like, what is my purpose here at all? Like, I'm just working, I'm gonna get a degree, and then what? It's like everyone I know is gone. So I just felt so alone. But then I got into a relationship during the pandemic, sort of, like it was 2021, and that was like a glimmer of hope for me, but little did I know it was like fake hope, because it was just because I was so alone, and that's never a good reason to get into a relationship, just out of loneliness. Someone shows up, alright, I'll take it or something. So yeah, it was a small glimmer of hope, but then it ended. So then in my mind I was like, well, now I really have absolutely no one. Like, I had a glimmer of hope, but now it's gone. So really I saw no purpose for anything. Sure, I was working remotely, but then it's like, what, I get a degree, and for what? I had no passion, no aspirations, no hope for the future or anything. I just didn't see or have goals or anything for once I graduated. I was like, all I'm doing here is getting a degree, and I'm just one student among many, and no one knows who I am. I'm literally a nobody. I thought I was worthless. And yeah, once that ended, that was just like, I was rock bottom. So again, as the usual pattern, I prayed, and this time it was like, maybe a year has gone by since I prayed at this point. And at that point, I already even considered myself an atheist, because I didn't see why people would pray to this person who's not there, because I didn't feel him. Of course, I was pretty much not doing that. I mean, I know he was there, but I didn't feel him. Because obviously I wasn't praying, I wasn't talking, I wasn't reaching out, I wasn't reading the Bible, I wasn't doing anything. I was just in my head with my thoughts. So yeah, because I was absolutely rock bottom, and I know, like, through these times, Ashley would always, I guess before she went away to wORld for a year or two, I don't remember how long you were gone, a year, yeah. But I mean, our friendship at that point also was like not really there anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. Even the last few friends that I had were really like not really, like, we talk maybe every couple months, if even.
Maybe even less. Yeah.
So I really didn't see any value, but I was like, you know what, like, I'm absolutely rock bottom, I don't lose anything, I'll just, like, what I need, I realized what I need, that my biggest problem is that I'm just so alone, and what I need is people and God, because, like, whenever I hit rock bottom, I would always pray. So I'm like, well, what perfect person than Ashley, because she always had so many friends, and I knew she was a Christian. Like, in the previous times before that, like, she would always mention God, or like, it's all thanks to God, or things like that. So I was like, you know what, like, I just need God and people, so let's just go to Ashley. And she I asked her, because I knew she went to these, like, youth group things. I asked her if, like, she still went, if I could go. And, well, I don't know if I can say this or not, but you didn't really go anymore at that time, right? So in a way I was helping her too, because she wasn't going to those youth groups anymore. I don't know how your relationship with God was at the time, but we'll hear later.
We will.
Woo! So yeah, she helped me, like, and I think that was the pivotal moment. In the first meeting I went to that youth group, like I said, I was hopeless, I felt worthless, I didn't see anything past when I graduated. I was like, I'll graduate, and then, who knows, I'll just get lost in the mist like another person I'll just be another number or anything. So in that youth group, like, I don't know if the people watching know how a youth group works, but like, we would read the Bible, go over, or watch a sermon or something, and then at the end of that we'd have prayer requests and
talk about the sermon or what we read in the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. So that part at the start was like, I don't know, it was all new and confusing to me, but I was just like, I want to get closer to God. I guess I need to know these stories and things. But in the prayer request, I told the people, the group we were in, I'm like, well, this is how I feel. I'm lost, and I don't know what to do. And yeah, so they prayed for me, and it felt so powerful because they knew exactly what was going on. They were like, I forgot, I don't even know what they said. I think they prayed to like give me hope, or for God to help me find myself or worth or someone or something. I don't know, but I cried and I didn't even know I was crying. Like, tears were rolling down, and I look up at Ashley, she's like, and I'm like, oh, wait, what? It's like, I didn't know I was crying.
Wow.
And it was just so comforting because I was like, these people don't know me at all. I just met them literally an hour ago, and they're already praying for me, and they know what I'm struggling through. And we talked about it after, and Ashley was like, that's God, like he led them through that prayer. So there at that time, I don't know, I was still doubting the thing about God and stuff, but I was like, it was just so beautiful that people who have no idea who I am prayed for a stranger at that time in a way, and knew exactly what to say and how to support me. Which am now like, God, he's always talking to you, to me, to all of us. Even things that we might be afraid to share, he like shares it for us, or she like, I don't know, angels, the Holy Spirit. Like, I'm still new to all this. This was literally only a year ago, but yeah. After that, another time later on, maybe I'd say like 2 or 3 Bible studies. 3 times I went after that. It was a girls' youth group night, like the girls' night, and a girl there, it was me, Ashley, and another girl, and she prayed again for me. Like, she prayed, this I remember more, she prayed for God to help me get out of this forest, to help me find meaning, find hope, find worth. And I felt so loved after so long, and I'm like, I don't know, I had hope for life again. I had more inspiration, more passions. I was finally looking forward to things. I wasn't just like, here's another day, another go, I'll just get through this. And I didn't even want to get through things. Like, I didn't see value in anything, but that really, through going through those youth groups, I got closer to God, and I met so many people, and I realized, like, I can, through God, I can have the courage to do these things, because I used to be so shy and quiet, and I mean, I still am a bit quiet, and I still am scared sometimes, but like, in this past year, I met I don't know how many people and made so many new friends, including you, like, and all of this is just thanks to God. And this past year too, like, I went to so many conferences, I won so many awards and scholarships and things, and literally it all like happened so back to back. After I felt like so worthless and like I was doing nothing. And there were even after that journey began, at one of these conferences, like last year, there was a point where I was winning this really nice award. It was like a plaque and everything, and yet, you know, I still felt very alone because, like, the table I was at, everyone was gone, and I'm like, I don't know anybody here. I just, I couldn't connect with anyone really. So, like, after the plaque, I won the plaque, I just went to my room alone, but I could still hear, like, the music going on downstairs, and I just felt so alone and so sad. And, well, at that time, I don't have a really good relationship with this person. You can cut this out, but it's my brother. And it was so interesting because at that time, he called me and we talked, and that was while I was away. While usually on these trips, whenever I go away, we just don't talk. But at the time that I felt so alone and so low, even despite having God, it's so interesting how in all these moments, God always sent someone to me, and this was the most unexpected person to me, and I was just like, I don't know, like what I said to Asha a little bit ago when I was telling her my testimony was that after finding God in all these moments, there was never a time again where I didn't see a future, where I didn't have hope or anything. Like, after you find God, there will still be highs and lows and all these things, but I know for sure he'll never go back down to me literally having absolutely no idea where to go, what to do, or even like not seeing life past a certain age. Like now I know I'm like, I don't know what'll happen, but I know I'll be fine whatever happens, and I'll make it out okay, and I will never be that low again. I will never be absolutely hopeless. I will never think I'm worthless. Like, I know I'm loved, and I know God loves me, and I see worth in me, and I see worth in everyone, where, yeah, God just changed my whole mindset on everything. Like, the reason, you know, I was so shy and so quiet and all these, because I was like, oh, what if they think this of me, that of me? Like, God gave me courage. He gave me so many things. He helped me see the value and worth in myself, and the value and worth in others too, because before I was like, well, you know, why would talk to the cashier and like get to know them, like what am I doing? But now, like, you know, everyone is so beautiful, and I love people absolutely. Like, it just makes me, like, I don't know, it's not just a matter of shyness and courage, it's like curiosity and loving people and all these things, like wanting to get to know who they are and what their life is. Like, everyone has their own story and is so beautiful in their own way. So yeah, God just changed my whole perspective and hope on life and everything. So yeah, and of course, yeah, like, things still happen, but I know he'll always be there.
Come on. Amen. Yeah. That's a good one. It's picking up that noise.
I think someone's mowing their lawn outside.
Yeah.
I'm glad that God has shown you how wonderful you are.
Amen.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm very thankful for God.
Come on.
Yeah. Like I said, yeah, he literally changed my whole perspective on life and things on life, on trying things out, go out there, be adventurous, get to know people, like, and it's of course not like, you know, okay, go and just stay out until 2 a.m. and do these things. It's like a healthy, beautiful way of seeing life. Like, it's not just I'll just keep on. There was another thing. Yeah.
Keep going, girl.
Because I remember many times, like, in these youth groups, like, you know, people would always say, oh, I can't wait to go to heaven. And in a way it sounded like, you know, this world is like, what are we doing here? I just want to go to heaven right now. But it's like, no, we are here for a reason, and there's beauty in everything here. It's not just, oh, this sucks, I want to go to heaven now. It's there's so much beauty and life and everything here that we can experience here because of the Holy Spirit, because of God. Like, why are we rushing to go to heaven? Why are we like, yes, that will be beautiful and amazing, but everything here is beautiful and amazing too. So yeah,
I think like it ties into how God was teaching you. I think the main reason why no one wants to like stay here is because of the trials, because of the suffering, because of all the troubles that come here. And it's perfect. Sorry, I'm not gonna do quotation marks. It's true. It's perfect in heaven. There's not gonna be sorrow, no pain, nothing. But like you said, there's beauty in it with being with God in those moments, because you'll never have those moments again. Yeah.
That's true.
Wow.
Well, you get to choose where you want your trials and tribulations. Do you want them here on earth where it's temporary, or in the afterlife where it's forever?
Wow.
You just said like one of the most controversial things ever without even knowing. So nice. It's true though. Everyone always goes like, I can't wait till the rapture happens.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Like, Lord, take me.
Yeah. I mean, there's moments like that, but then it's also like you said, there is beauty here. Taking just the moments where you're just admiring that God did this.
Amen.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly.
His grace, bro. His mercy. Like, he still let us like have a taste of what he created, because he created this for us. We were supposed to have like dominion over it. Right?
Kind of do.
Yeah, that's true. We're to be fruitful and multiply, and that's a gift. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I saw too on a. Sorry, we're ending in 3 minutes. I mean, we should take a break in 3 minutes. I saw this sermon. Not really sermon. It was like a podcast, and the guy was saying, you know how God said, if you eat the fruit, you will die. But did Adam and Eve die when they ate the fruit?
No.
God is very fair, bro.
Yeah.
He's very just, and like just in a way that it just looks like mercy and grace. So,
well, they died in a way. Their relationship with God died.
ooh. That's deep, bro.
I mean, God was literally walking beside them in the garden. Then they ate the fruits, and there was literally like a wall of separation between him and them.
That's true.
So it's not exactly that they died. They're spiritually dead.
Correct.
Bro, we were learning about that too.
Yeah.
And that explains why, in being spiritually dead, you know, I think that kind of describes what I was feeling before. Like, I was literally spiritually dead. I didn't know God. I didn't have any relationship with God. I just didn't. I consider myself an atheist, like I said. So that's why I felt so bad, because I was literally spiritually dead.
God really bringing revelation right now.
When people say they're dead inside, that's what they mean.
Oh
Oh.
my gosh.
Yep.
Dang.
Now you know where God's putting your heart out for.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's like that you really know that you're super close to.
Yeah.
That was really beautiful. So for what you discovered was like how God is permanently there.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Always
for you
there,
it's like
yeah.
God's love is always there. Mine's is like his will and his purpose for you is always there, and nothing can bring you away from it. Yeah, that's mine. So I'm gonna share my testimony now. A little shy. Okay, so for my testimony, I was like a confused kid. I didn't know who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, I would always just be inspired by my surroundings. So I was raised in a Filipino community, and Filipinos are good at singing, dancing, basketball, and maybe playing the ukulele or guitar. That's just the Filipinos. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, with those four, I gotta pursue one of those things. So I pursued singing and dancing when I was young. And then when I grew up, I had, other outside influences. My dad was really into martial arts. So he made us take martial arts when we were kids. And I thought, okay, maybe that's who I want to be. And when I started elementary, going into junior high, like grade 6 to grade 8, I was introduced to theater and like acting. And I loved the way that people were able to control their emotions and just like cry on command. And I was like, yo, I want to be an actor. I think that's what I want to be. And I was going like back and forth between hobbies and like just watching people be successful at it, that it made me want to like, what's the thing? What's that famous meme word? Digress. It made me want to digress all the time. So during high school, I tried to finalize, what my purpose in life might be. I'm not doing good in school, so I'm not going to pursue math, English, social science, none of those. Even the options, art, phys ed, I suck at all of them. I'm just there to, pass and graduate. So I still had love for dance. I still had love for Taekwondo, which is a martial art. It's a Korean martial art. They just teach you how to master your kicks. It's very kicks based. So I tried to pursue that and put like all of my life into it. Like I sacrificed so much. I'd sacrifice my sleep because the training that had to come with it, especially with dance and like martial arts, it's like a lot of physical training. And it drains the heck out of you, and you have to time manage. And I had to mix that in with school, and like I hated school, so like homework took a lot more time. I would sleep at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., just worrying about, okay, well, I'm trying to just pass and like still please my parents at the same time, because that's what they want from me, but this is what I want to do. And even with so much that I sacrificed and so much that I was willing to earn, like I was willing to die for these like hobbies, both ended up failing very horribly. The dance team I wanted to pursue started in high school. I luckily made it with some classmates of mine, and I think it's still lasting today. It's a little iffy, but that failed. I got kicked out of my dance team because my mental health was going boom boom. And when you put a bunch of teenagers together as leaders, everyone makes rash decisions. So that's how I got kicked out. And then with martial arts, I was having conflictions because, yes, I wanted to learn how to fight, but I didn't want to hurt people. I was like a fighter, but like I knew like deep down inside I was a lover. So I was like, I need to learn self-defense and I need to keep myself safe. But is this something I want to pursue my whole entire life? Just to, impress people? It was all about like, if I let these things go, I don't earn anything, therefore I'm nothing. And since both Taekwondo and both my dance failed, I felt like not just nobody, but I felt like I didn't deserve anything. Any job that I would try to go into, like my initial thoughts were just like, man, I'm like a piece of garbage, so it would make sense if they'd want to fire me after 3 months. And that was like the mentality that I had. It's like, you're not enough, therefore you must do things to earn it, to earn people's like affirmations that you are enough. And I was living that constant lie even after I came to Christ. And it's because when I came to Christ first, I only enjoyed earning his love. I liked that it was immediate. I liked that I was able to feel it, like it was tangible to me. I liked that when I would talk to him, just a simple hi, hello would be like a huge like hug, like, I love you, you're the cutest being ever type of thing. But I didn't ask him the deep things. It was always very surface level. It was always like, God, you're just so cool, I love you. He'd be like, yeah, I love you too, but you know, how's your job going? How's school going? And I was only able to confront that last year. And this kind of connects to when you were like, I didn't know how your relationship with God was going.
Yeah.
It was going pretty trash.
Oh.
God really uses us in our weakness, and I really, like, I can't take any credit for how I influenced you, because at that time, I was questioning if I even knew God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, all glory to God, really. I think the reason why I kept talking about him is because that was the only thing that made me feel like I was getting worth. It's like, okay, if I just say, you know, guys, God is like a cool dude, I will appear to others that I know him and that he loves me, you know, like I'm a Christian. Like I finally have a label to put on that I'm 100% sure that I have. But it's like, no, it's not just the outside. There's a Bible verse that talks about like how you're clean on the outside, but the inside's not clean. I was not clean on the inside. Like the inner work, like where you sit down alone with God and just hear what he has to say to you, I didn't do any of that. Like God had to get me alone in wORlds where I had nobody to talk to. Even though I enjoy making friends, but no one to depend on. When I was lonely, like I could only depend on him at that time. And that's when he started to show me like, okay, these are the things that you still think are giving you an identity. Like, yes, when you, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. You know Christian apparel?
I don't know.
It'd be like, I don't know, when those people wear the Donald Trump supporter hats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like that. Like people know or have a stereotype of you already. And it's like, okay, but you know when you do that, God was trying to say to me like, still, those are their opinions on you. Still. That's not what I'm saying about you. Just because you're wearing like Christian apparel, just because you're acting a certain way. And it also helped me let go of like the stereotypical Christian, where they're always sounding so pure, so joyous, so holy. Like I learned how to be more authentic with God in my walk with him. And kind of like cuss a little, you know, get caught slipping, but not to the point where I take advantage of his grace. It was just real. It was like, you know, the Psalms in David. It was like, God, I hate my life right now. Help. March of 2022, I believe, was when God really smacked me in the face with his love and care for me. I was going through a lot of church hurt at that time. I was alone in wORlds, and I was just looking for someone to support me still, and God's people still couldn't do that for me. Like I had a hard time getting along with people at wORlds. I had a hard time getting along with people here. So I knew you could find God where God's people were. I was willing to get hurt for a short time just to experience God. And it got to the point where their words were kind of like the only things I was dwelling on until I went to this retreat in March. And I forgot what happened exactly in that retreat. I'm not gonna lie. Being surrounded by all of these Christians, I did not feel any love from any of them except for God that day. And like, I know people can be flawed, but I feel like that was also as if it was God ordained for him to seriously just subtract everyone and just get me alone, even when there's people present, but not of God's presence. It was really weird. It was the weirdest encounter I've ever felt. And I think he just spoke to me like, if you listen to what I say about you, like, you'll be able to forgive them. If you listen to what I say about you, you'll be able to let go of your past identities. If you listen to what I say about you, you'll be walking in your purpose. You'll be walking in where you need to be. You will be so confident that every day that you wake up, you will know that, okay, this is the life that I'm living. I'm living for the Lord and not for others. So, yeah. That is my testimony regarding God and knowing my identity in Christ.
I think it's so cool that God would take you, separate you, to bring you closer to Him.
Yeah. It works so mysteriously.
It's so interesting. I think He knows what each of us need to get closer to Him. So He knew, I guess, you were in a way relying on God's people. But were you getting closer to God?
Were you relying on God?
I had a tough time relying on God for like 3 years. Yeah. I think that's why I'm able to see that in people, if they're taking advantage of like my relationship with God, or if they're actually hanging out with me to edify each other. Yeah. But I also have a heart for people who are lonely during that season.
Yes.
And like, I want to help guide them and be like, okay, well, what you really need to do is rely on God. Yeah. But I tell them, in different ways as the Lord leads me. So, yeah. I've come to that revelation, but I wanted to know, like, if you guys, through your testimonies, realize, what God has birthed through you in that. Because in a way, He did kill something.
Yes.
So what is the seed that He's now asking you guys to grow from that testimony? I'm curious.
Well, I know that when it was happening, God was healing away my bad relationships that I have had. And I, much like you, I separated from them. And now I am growing in new relationships with you guys and the other people at First Alliance. Yeah. And even my family I'm getting closer to. So God is helping me have better relationships with Him and the people around me.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oof. Can you say that one more time?
Which part? All of it from the beginning, or just last?
That last sentence.
Last sentence. Okay. God is helping me grow in a better relationship with Him and the people around me.
Conviction at its finest, bro. Oh man.
That's true. Well, I guess the same for me too in a way, but also mostly God helps me see the value in myself, at the same time also helping me see the value in others, which does help, when you see the worth in yourself and others and everything, it helps you see everything in such a positive light. So really God is life, really. There's no other way to put it.
True. Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
God gives you life.
Mm-hmm.
God gives you love.
Oh yeah.
God gives you purpose. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. Yeah! Wow. I mean, I could end it here and we can just start the next episode. What did you want to talk about again? Unequally yoked?
Yes, I think that was what we were
Oh yeah. You had strong opinions about what was it, like Christian and non?
Not Christians?
Yeah.
You're about to be convicted, bro, because
Yeah.
Okay. So next time, unequally yoked.
yeah! Catch us next week, guys.
Louisa, Cindy, and Ashley. I pray this blesses you and that you just take everything to the Lord. Use your discernment, test the spirits, and read your Bible. Yes.
Yeah.
Focus on God. God bless you guys. Peace.